So we've had a fair bit of nice, dry, lovely, bright weather like we've got right now, which we didn't have last year at this time. It's mid to late September, and this time last year we'd had a good few weeks of rain, and some of the paddocks were getting a bit muddy already, but we've got the opposite this year. So this top paddock, which has been free of our larger animals for a little while now, has fully recovered and is looking great for going into the winter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move our goats and our sheep from this bottom paddock, this little one, into the top one, and hopefully they'll eat a little bit of that down, and we'll be able to just manage all the land in both the paddocks to try and keep them both looking nice and lush like they do at the moment going into the winter. Now, this is the fun bit. Through the winter and spring, we were moving them quite frequently because the paddocks were getting quite boggy, and during that time, all I would do is open the gates and they would move straight across from one to the other. And we're going to hope the same thing happens now, but we shall see. So hopefully they'll follow me. They're following animals generally as a species, particularly the goats, but let's see. Rhubarb seems to have found a bit of feed. Here we go. Looking good so far. Come on then, girls. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Well, as we all know, the goats do love a tree. So they've stopped for a nibble on the way. Let's get Fern out to join the gang. And then, if needs be, I'll get a little bucket of feed for them. Come on, love. Come on, Fern. Come on, love. Come on. There you go. So I think I'm going to just put a little bit of feed in a bucket to help encourage them through, and fingers crossed that'll do the job. So I've got a little bit of feed here in the bucket, and lo and behold, it's definitely making a difference. Let's just get this gate shut. So there we go, they're all safely in the top paddock now, the bigger paddock. And as you can see, they're knee deep in some lush greenery there, the grass and the weeds. There's lots and lots of wild carrot and groundsel and all sorts of thistles and things that they'll enjoy. So they'll be up there now for several weeks, and it's going to place us really, really well going into the winter, because this bottom paddock now they've had a good nibble of, and it will have had a good dose of effectively fertilizer, which is the the byproducts of animals is all going to be through here. It's going to encourage some more growth, and I think we're going to be able to get through the winter now with both of these paddocks being pretty much intact, which would be awesome compared to last year when we really struggled with the mud because there just wasn't enough grass. It was all gone. So that's a good job done, moving them across. I've got to go and do a few rounds now collecting from some of our feed suppliers, some of our free animal feed, and then we may or may not have time to finish that chicken trailer today. I know I've also got quite a lot of tomatoes to harvest, and we've got a reasonable amount of vegetable processing, some preserving to do. We've got lots of beans, lots of courgette, lots of tomatoes that all need preserving, but we shall see how the time goes, because it's there's certainly more to do time wise than there is time in which to do it today. So we'll just see how the day goes, but for now we're going to load up the car with some empty bins and go and collect some feed. I'm just going to go and feed the pigs next, and then after that what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a few minutes with my cucurbits, my squashes. We are now in the second half of September, and basically we're running out of time before the frosts come. The frosts are on their way. We've had one close call already, which is quite early, but I'm not expecting any frost in the next few days, but they're coming, and all the cucurbits are very, very frost sensitive. Now we've got lots of butternut squash and pumpkin plants that have set fruit, but lots of the fruit is underdeveloped. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to be quite brutal, and I'm going to trim and cut back quite a lot of the plant, including some of the fruits, and we're going to sacrifice them, because basically it's a case now of trying to encourage the plant to put its energy into one or two fruits to give us a chance of getting those fruits to maturity, because the other option is to leave it and let it continue to put its energy into all its fruits, 6 or 7, and potentially get nothing. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to just prune, quite heavily prune, and hopefully I'm doing it early enough that those fruits will be able to fill out in the next week or two and increase our harvest. That's the plan anyway. Yep, girls, I'm coming now. But I can feel it. I can feel it everywhere. I can see it in the trees. I can feel it in the air. Sounds like a song. But the growing season is coming to an end. It's not finished, but it's getting close. At least what we would call the growing season before the frosts. We're going to be growing all year round, and that's something to bear in mind. Right, going to feed these girls and then get to those squash plants. And with all that talk of winter coming, the rain is here, so I'm not going to be able to film much of this, but I'll just show as much as I can quickly, as much as I dare. But you see, we've got this big butternut squash plant, and out here you see it's still trying to set fruit right out towards the tip of its plant, and here. So we're going to take a lot of these out to allow the ones closer back to its roots to form. So like this one here, we want this one to have chance to develop into a nice big fruit, and it's getting there. It's not far away, but we want to give it every chance we can. So I'm going to have to put the camera away now because of the rain, but I'm going to get this done and compost, or in fact I'm not sure. I need to check. I think this is going to be fine to feed the goats, but I'll just double check, and if it is, we'll give it to the goats, otherwise we'll be composting it. But going to have to wrap it up there. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you guys soon.